Yeah.
Let's go. Together for old time's sake.
AB is really out there training with Gervonta Davis's team, man. That makes a big difference.
Adrien Broner has officially teamed up with Gervonta Tank Davis in preparation for the explosive August rematch against Lamont Roach. This move adds even more intensity to a bout already buzzing with tension. The rivalry continues heating up, as Davis and Roach exchange brutal trash talk online, escalating their feud. Tank is pulling out all stops, adding new trainers, ramping up sparring sessions with fiercer partners, and now bringing in Broner to raise the bar. After their controversial draw, Davis is determined to silence any doubts this time. He's not letting Roach steal the spotlight.
Post is trying to let the world know he's going to be a completely different fighter. And as you see here, he's posting his black Nike boots. Now, technically, we usually say when you have Nike Air Force Ones, the black ones, that means some sort of bad energy. You're going to bring it. It's a thugging thing. And he's showing the Nike boots and saying it's time. He's going underground.
Understanding just how razor close their first encounter was, Tank is going all in on refining every detail of his training. He's formed a powerhouse team, sticking with trusted trainer Calvin Ford, while also introducing fresh perspectives. To elevate his game, from revamping his conditioning to fine-tuning his counterpunching ability, every element is being sharpened. The camp has included hard-hitting sparring partners, fighters who bring pressure, speed, and unorthodox styles too. Mirror Roach's rhythm and force Davis to adjust constantly and stay sharp. With Adrien Broner now training alongside him, Tank gains more than just a tough partner. He gains wisdom from a battle-tested veteran. Broner understands what it means to fight under massive pressure and how to navigate boxing's mental warfare. He's not simply present. He's actively pushing Tank to embrace the mindset of domination, keeping him focused amid the noise. Training out of West Palm Beach under coach Kevin Cunningham, their sessions are intense and familiar. For Davis, this throwback atmosphere could be the missing fuel to ignite his killer instinct.
But I think Tank can pull off the victory.
Do you think Tank has more to prove because of what everybody was saying about him, that he did take a knee, that he should have been counted as a knockdown, he should have lost that fight? Do you think Tank has more to prove?
No, I don't think he got what to prove. What he proving? He ain't lose.
Good.
Yeah,
Anything else you got to say to the fans?
Nah.
All right, man. Thank you, Darrell.
This rematch was always expected to get heated, but things took a fiery turn recently after a nasty exchange on social media lit a fuse. It all began when Roach publicly vented about receiving hate, expressing his frustration in a vague tweet. Davis, never one to ignore a slight, clapped back fiercely with, "It can get bad for you inside and outside, keep faking." The post was brief but intimidating, a clear sign that any lingering respect between them has completely vanished in the lead up to their next clash.
You can call a heavy-handed fighter, but Jason, if you watch this fight, you will see a guy that's very slick, who's very confident, and this is the dynamic I think all of us did not take enough account into. Tank is from the DC, Baltimore area, as is Lamont Roach. They have sparred together, they've had amateur bouts together, and when I spoke to Lamont, when there were rumors about this bout, he told me flat out, he goes, Steve.
Things only escalated when a fan reminded Davis of his bold pre-fight talk, writing, "You said that the last time give that man his 100K. Tank shot back without hesitation. "He not getting anything, tell him to come take it."
Although
He deleted it soon after. The tension and pride in that moment couldn't be undone. Roach wasn't backing down either. He clapped back, replying to a separate tweet. "You still tweeting and deleting like a baby? Really won't get?" Cryptic. The message was loud and clear. It isn't scared, never was, and Tank's agitation continues to bubble. You should have been on that instead of calling around for that 250K. What's the holdup? This purse is bigger, you forgot. Roach kept it calm with what's up with you, little bro. But the venom is real. This isn't just pre-fight hype. It's a clash born of history and bad blood. Tank hasn't forgotten how their first bout ended in a frustrating draw. He's not used to falling short, and hearing Roach's name tied to anything less than a win hits a nerve. Others in boxing have started chiming in, and now the whole sport is paying close attention.
If I don't win convincingly, if I don't knock him out, or if I don't beat the shit out of him, they not gonna give it to me. Tank know I can't go another 12 again, cause they gonna really say I have been exposed. That's one of the famous words. He's exposed. He exposed them. You know what I mean? That's the I say now. So Tank not trying to hear that neither. So Tank gonna be really going there seek and destroy. But Lamont gonna be on the same.
Who squared off with Davis before Roach did, broke his silence in a June 9th chat with Fight Hype. Martin gave credit to Roach for showing up and performing better than expected, saying Roach came out and fought the best fight that he could possibly fight. He noted Roach wasn't passive, he brought his agami. Martin also reflected on how Davis approached the bout, suggesting there was familiarity between the two that may have influenced how serious Tank really was about putting Roach away for good.
I feel like the relationship that they got or they had, as far as coming up together and kind of knowing the same people, working with the same people, it kind of was more of the fight was more of like I feel like so Roach came out and fought his best fight that he could possibly fight, right? Against Tank. He came out with his A game, boom. And I feel like Tank came in that fight not underestimating Roach, but...
Martin pointed out something important. While Davis didn't outright underestimate Roach, he may have been too relaxed. He fought it more relaxed and chill, instead of really trying to get him up out of there, Martin said. Fans rarely see that version of Davis. He's usually laser-focused, stalking his opponent and detonating with power. But against Roach, something felt off. Fewer explosive moments, less urgency. Perhaps their history made Davis feel overly confident. Or maybe. Roach's tenacity and tricky style truly disrupted Tank's usual rhythm and game plan.
Do you think he wins that rematch with Lamont Roach?
I don't know, honestly. I really don't know. It's a 50-50 fight. It's a 50-50 fight. I don't know, honestly. I really don't know.
Does a lot of it hinge on Gervonta and like which version he shows up with? And no disrespect to Roach, but you know what I mean.
No, that is disrespect for the Roach, and like y'all fight fans gotta realize that.
When asked about the upcoming rematch, Martin didn't pause. I think the rematch is going to be a good fight still. But I think Tank may get him up out of there this next fight, he said. Even with all the controversy from the first bout, Martin sees Tank coming in far more aggressive this time. He believes the draw lit a fire under Davis, and the changes to his training more pressure. Smarter tactics, experienced voices like Broner prove Tank wants to send a message. August 16th in Vegas is his chance to shut the door on doubt.
And in front of the packed house, the fight everybody wants to see.
Do you think that Lamont can build on what he did rounds 8, round 9, round 10, and so on and so forth?
They ain't seen Lamont told y'all the first time he got a big bag. Y'all ain't seen half of that shit he got.
Okay. If you don't get the Gervonta Davis rematch, Shakur Stevenson has said.
But Roach isn't backing down either. He's got plenty of motivation going into the second bout. Critics didn't think he'd last with Tank, much less go the distance. Instead, he delivered one of his gutsiest showings, now that he's proven he belongs in the ring with Davis. Roach believes the win is within reach. You can see it in every tweet, every clapback, every moment where he stands tall and won't budge. He's not just...
And it was something probably that Lamont and his team already knew because they have a history with Gervonta Davis, and some of the things they've talked about to us and whatnot is Gervonta had natural God-given talent. He had natural blazing speed, twitch muscles, and power. Lamont didn't have that God-given talent But you know where they evened out the stakes because it was such a big difference. Character and backbone. Lamont has a ton of character and backbone. Gervonta has none. So as soon as you push back on Gervonta Davis,
what we're seeing now is two warriors entering a rematch, not just for victory, but to silence every critic. Broner joining the team shows how serious Davis is taking this fight. There's no slacking. Every session is intense, purposeful, and built around focus. Broner's past struggles and comebacks bring a sense of realism and grit to the camp. It's clear Tank isn't preparing like a champion. He's prepping like a man fighting for redemption, and that makes him deadly. Even without a loss on paper, Davis is treating this as make or break. Meanwhile, Roach is no slouch. He's drilling faster combos, tightening up his game, and reviewing their last fight with laser focus.
No choice but to give Lamont the rematch, based off how close the first fight was and how controversial it was. But I have so many questions heading into this highly anticipated rematch. Can Lamont Roach finish the job and get a W after a controversial scorecards that led to a draw? Two judges favored the fight being in a draw, one favored Tank Davis winning that fight. But it was so controversial because in that 9th round, Gervonta Davis willingly took a knee after getting grease in his eye.
Everything leading up to August 16th feels like it's boiling over into one of boxing's most personal fight builds in years. Deleted posts, shots over money, and sky-high pride have taken this beyond sport. It's not just fists at stake, reputations, and legacies are in play. One of the first to give an opinion was Shocker Stevenson, a respected voice in boxing.
And you think one coming up with
I
Tank
hope he don't fight Lamont, actually. Like, I hope he don't get in the ring with him again. Because at the end of the day, if he lose, it's just going to look bad on the fight with me. So it's going to look like somebody else already did it. I want
You want Tank to knock you out, yo.
I ain't even gonna lie to you.
I heard him say, like, yo, I want to fight Tank, and that's nice, but why do you want Tank to knock you out so bad? Like,
Look. That sound good. That sound real good, but she's too little.
Too little.
I promise you.
He backed Roach by saying, "I like Lamont in the rematch," and stressed that Tank would need to be at his absolute best to pull off a win. Shocker's no stranger to greatness and rarely hands out compliments, especially when Davis is involved. But his viewpoint was grounded in what he saw before. He noted that Roach had the ability to mess with Tank's timing, remain steady under pressure, and reveal small cracks in Davis's game when it comes to reacting under fire or making real-time decisions.
Lamont Roach, giving him a tough fight. What do you think?
I think it's dangerous for him to go back in there and fight Lamont. I think Lamont is a hell of a fighter. I can see that going left. So he better be on his A game.
Did you think Lamont won the first fight?
I asked two questions at the same time. I ain't even shit y'all do that.
You really want to move up to 154 after this fight and fight in Conor?
Yo, you know, I kind of said 154. I probably was stretching it. I'm stretching 154, but I'll fight him at 147. 147 means.
Stevenson said Roach kept Tank hesitant, made him second-guess his shots, and disrupted his rhythm. And if Roach sticks to that strategy but sharpens it even more, things could tilt his way. In Stevenson's eyes, the fight now rests on mental strength late in the rounds. Since both fighters already know what each other brings, there's no more guessing. That's why he insists Tank must show up sharper than ever. One lapse could flip the fight. And coming from someone like Shaka who's known for ring IQ, it's a warning Davis should probably take seriously.
I just so happen to be a boxing fan that the fact that I do watch him fight, you know what I'm saying? Like, I really like boxing.
Are you open to immediate rematch?
In my contract, immediate rematch was signed. I signed for the immediate rematch when I signed for the first fight.
Right.
Just in case he lost or just in case it was a draw.
So when you got a rematch clause, how long we taking?
It's up to the A side and when they want to fight. So I'm thinking it's going to be soon. I'm hoping it's going to be soon. Let's say.
Roy Jones Jr. also chimed in, offering his usual layered analysis. He said Roach surprised the world before and wouldn't be shocked if he did it again. But he added that this time around, Tank's mindset will be totally different. In his words, Tank's coming in with fire. While Roach will still look solid, Jones expects Davis to be more in control. He noted Tank now knows better than to overlook Roach. This time, Tank likely won't take big chances early. Jones thinks the opening rounds could be slow again. Once Davis settles, he'll start breaking Roach down. While Roach is brave and focused, Jones believes Tank's ability to adapt is the difference. But Davis must stay. Alert Troach's timing can be deadly. That's where Roy says this fight will really be decided inside those focused, high-pressure exchanges.
Rematches that you fought?
0.
What do you have to do to create enough separation where this don't happen again?
Whew, it's a good question. It's going to be based on my training camp. I have to push myself a little harder if that didn't get me the win. And I have room. I definitely have room. I'm not going to lie, I have room.
You believe you fought the best Gervonta, or do you think he got some more gears?
100% for a fact. I think he might have some more gears, but I fought the best Gervonta that night.
Tony Bellew didn't take long to share his prediction either. He's known for telling it straight. Bellew didn't waste words. Asked about the rematch, he said flatly, Tank does him, that's it. No long take, no breakdown, just raw belief in Tank's finishing ability. Bellew's stance has always been clear. Davis is a monster when he smells weakness. And while he respects Roach's boxing skills, he doesn't think they'll be enough to carry him through all 12 tough rounds. With a fighter like Tank Davis,
you assess his power after being in there for 12?
He got decent power. He got decent power for sure. I ain't gonna say it's exaggerated. I told you I got a chin. I ain't going like that. It's just not gonna happen. But like I said, I see why he knocked people out, and I think he felt my power too. Like, I think that's what negated a lot of his shots. And once I took his best shot, I was like, oh yeah, it's time to roll.
Bellew sees Davis walking into the ring with a chip on his shoulder, and that's exactly when he's most dangerous. According to him, when people doubt Tank, he stops talking and starts destroying. He's not the only one who thinks that way. Many fighters who faced punchers like Davis echo that same fear. Bellew isn't focused on tactics, movement, or even who has better skills. For him, it's a matter of who wants it, Morand, who's willing to end it brutally when the opening comes. Tank's hunger, in Bellew's eyes, wins this war.
The fight is going to end with somebody being on the canvas, in my opinion. But I think that Lamont Roach, I want to give a shout out to Lamont Roach for putting up such a amazing performance. We never seen anyone stand there toe-to-toe with Gervonta Tank Davis. We never seen anyone there throwing punches, power punches, at Tank Davis. And
Ryan Garcia also weighed in, and his opinion is shaped by hard-earned experience. He admitted that he once thought he had Tank figured out until they actually fought. Underestimating Davis was a huge mistake, and he's learned from that. So, now looking at this rematch with Roach, Garcia is convinced that Davis won't repeat the same error. He believes Tank took Roach lightly before, but this time he's coming locked in.
The hardest puncher I ever faced. No. And I ain't shitting on him or nothing like that. He can punch. But Jonathan Okendo, he's from Puerto Rico. Bro, he got bricks in his hands, bro. I lie to you not. He punch hard. I ain't gonna lie. He a hard hit.
Garcia thinks Tank will open the fight with urgency, not letting Roach settle or find his rhythm. He noted Davis often delays his pressure, but after what happened last time, he'll want to assert dominance early. Garcia also mentioned that people haven't even seen everything Tank can do. He claimed Davis only showed 70% of his arsenal in that first bout. The rematch, he says, is where the rest comes out. While he respects Roach's grit, he doesn't believe it'll be enough. If Tank unloads from the first bell, he predicts Davis will hurt Roach by the midway mark and finish strong with either a stoppage or a clean sweep.
When you was watching the fight, how was that?
Going the way I thought it was gonna go. He was just touching him up though. Like, I'm like, damn, like I ain't expecting to do all this. Like, I told everybody, bet it's gonna go the distance. I said, nobody knocking my little big head man out. Not happening, bro. Like,
legendary HBO commentator Jim Lampley gave perhaps the boldest prediction yet, saying Tank will finish it by the middle rounds. He wasn't swayed by Roach's solid performance the first time. Lampley stated, even if Tank didn't have knockout power, he'd still be elite. But it's that power that changes everything. He compared Davis's danger in the ring to a young Mike Tyson calm, patient but lethal. Lampley said Tank can end a fight with 5 punches, and when he decides to go, there's no coming back. Roach may be clever and durable, But Lampley doesn't see him surviving twice? Now what do you think? Drop your opinion in the comments and don't forget to subscribe.